All right, now we're live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And today we're talking with the developers behind the game Above Snake, which is right now live on Steam. So don't go play it right now. Let's chat first, and then you can guys enjoy the game. So it's going to be live by the June 20th. So plenty of time to enjoy it. But today we're talking with Toby. Um, and Toby, say hi and introduce Mark maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, hi everybody. Glad that we're live here. And by the way, you say it wrong all of the time. It's above snakes, okay? not
All
not
right.
above snake.
It's above snakes.
Okay,
The S is a
above snakes.
silent.
Yeah, I wanted that people can find it on Steam actually.
Right.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Yeah, glad to be here. I'm Toby. Some of you maybe already know me from past streams. We streamed above snakes a couple of times now here on the channel. I think maybe 2 or 3 times already. And yeah, I'm super happy that today I'm not alone with Alex here. I bought Mark, and yeah, Mark is our newest member of the team from our newly formed studio, Square Glade Games. And yeah, so hi Mark, how are you
Hi,
doing?
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm very glad to be here and to be invited. For you who don't know me yet, I'm Mark Folger, and let me just start off. I have a background in artificial intelligence, and I love games. And I've actually found Above Snakes about a year ago. Must have been. I found some images online, and it really piqued my interest. And then I played the demo on this Steam festival a year ago, and I mean, I got hooked on the game, and I felt at one point I need to do something. I need to see who's making this. So I did a little research and got in contact with Toby. And I guess at the somewhere around the start of this year, was it January, maybe
I think in
February?
February, I think when the Kickstarter campaign started, I think it was
Oh
end
yeah,
of January, yeah,
yep,
or early February, yeah.
exactly. That's when we came in contact, and because I contacted you through Kickstarter, and I was like, "Can I help you? Can I help with this game?" And ever since it skyrocketed, and we've been working together ever since. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and very happy. We're very happy that you're on board and yeah, helping out with the game. I think you're a great addition to the team. And yeah, I mean, the community knows you already. You did so many stuff for the game, and that the community also loves. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And
happy not to be solo dev anymore.
yeah, we
Yeah.
also I also been observing like how you guys grew since you joined, as well as like I think the game is like definitely raised the bar. You guys are definitely improving a lot of like assets and overall the game playthrough is became much interesting and more detailed in a lot of aspects of it, which is yeah, cool. And what can you tell us actually, Mark, what are you working on in the game? Like what's your responsibilities and it's like what are you handling?
Yeah, certainly. No, well, the fun thing that I love about this is that we're still such a small team, you know. It's really the core game developing is it has always been done by Toby, and he's been able to teach me so much about all different aspects of the game. And I always love to have variety in my work and whatever I do. So I'd like to, learn a lot about the different things. Obviously, I've been learning a lot
Oh,
about a lot of different
little hiccups.
things,
Little,
which I like. But to name a couple is involved with the.
maybe I
Oh
should take
no.
over for a second.
No, technical
I think it's no problem.
difficulties on the Mark side.
He's
It's
gonna
like
he's probably going to rejoin us in a second. So one of the first things that Mark did was the fishing. I think that the people really loved that one. He was implementing the fishing system with the fishing rods for above snakes, and he worked on a couple other like content. I would say he created basically almost all of the tiles. Like he's our chief tile designer. So if you
chief
have
tile
like an idea
designer.
for Yeah, he's
That's a very
if you
unique
have like
position. Yeah.
yeah, it's his position. He's chief tile designer. So if you have like a good idea for a tile that we should implement, like go to Mark and tell him, so he will
CTD.
do.
Yeah, you should put in your signature CTD.
Yeah. And also one feature that was very highly anticipated by the community was this external storage, so that you have like storage chests where you can put all of your loot in, and that was also implemented by Mark. So yeah, in this very short period of time, he did already a lot of stuff, and yeah, so I'm very happy to get this support by him, and I think he joined back
Yeah,
in
I
our
think
call, right?
it yeah, caught up. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll last you for a few
Can you guys
seconds,
hear
Mark.
me again?
Yeah, yeah, it seems like you're back.
Yeah,
Uh,
Very
it's
good.
all
not
right.
not not
Yeah.
sure for how long, but like it seems like it's a bit choppy for you, but like hopefully it's all good. So
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if I
Toby,
can change.
you wanna showcase talk a little bit more about the game, new additions and stuff? Is like I'm gonna click on the window, make it bigger, or maybe we talk about a little bit about your new name for the company. Is like where you guys are
Oh yeah,
got inspired for that. Is like what does it mean and things like that.
yeah. Let's do that for a second. Yeah. So as I said, it's Squareglide Games, and the idea is we have the ones that already played the alpha know that we have this one tile we call it Glade. So it's basically a fancy forest tile, if you want so. And you're doing a quest for the lumberjack Stark on that tile because you're getting like an animal skull from there, from something that has been yeah hunted to death by one of the lost souls. And from that particular tile, because we like how it looks and we like the quest line that is attached to it, and we just thought, hey, it's also a cool word, and let's just use it in our company name.
Cool word, yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically like a direct Above Snakes reference. That's where it comes from. So that's and square, yeah, obviously because it's a tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Nice.
Very simple, very
Yeah,
straight.
yeah. Thank you for additional information. Looks great. The logo itself is very minimalistic and looking really nice and sharp. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think we try to keep it minimalistic, as basically our design philosophy generally is, as the game is. Like we try to focus on the things that are really important. We don't have like a lot of clutter, and that was also one of the main things with the redesign that we did for the alpha, like to remove a bunch of clutter and to make it more focused on the gameplay, to make it more focused on what's actually going on the tiles. And I think that worked pretty well for us and for the game, and I think you can really see it in the product right now.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I really love the new look of the game. It's not like much cleaner and nicer and brighter. So saturated, like really nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've been also really working on the transitions between tiles because we've got feedback that even though it always looked like, yes, you're building your own whole world, it is really just the
that's a big
squares, you
one.
know.
Yeah. I
And
love
what do
that.
you do between the squares? So we've really started working on transitions, and as chief tile design, I've been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely start like the world actually like that helps a lot because the world feels like all complete versus like oh you now unlock that very isolated little square that like comes from
Yeah.
somewhere. So it just feels like the full journey that when you unlock the new tile, it just continues to bleeds on in the next one. So it's very nice. Yeah, we were talking
Yeah,
about it with Tony that Toby. I'm sorry,
Toby,
Tony.
please.
Above Snake, the Tony that works in Above Snake. About that for a while. Yeah, it's just like it's incredibly hard to maintain the project like that by yourself, right? And yeah, now we can see how everything is evolving like so much faster and nicer.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so talking about the game, maybe we can hop into the game and yeah,
Yeah,
play just a little bit of the alpha, and we play the same version as everybody else basically can play on their Steam clients right now. You can just download the demo and you get the alpha for a week right now, so until June 20th,
yeah.
you'll be able to play.
Can you tell us maybe
Uh,
more, Toby, about like what people can do in the demo itself? It's like what's the limitation or like what how
yeah.
many? Yeah,
yeah, so basically, it is the start of the game, and as we are here right now in the still kind of tutorial, like on our first tile, um, the demo, or let's call it maybe alpha, because it is basically the alpha that we put online as a demo, um, it's not like limited time wise or something. You can basically play it as long as you want to, and you can make a world as big as you want to, but you are limited to I think 4 biomes, right? You can build plains, forests, prairies, and lakes, and you have a couple of quests. So you're limited to these biomes, and also there are I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 story quests in the game right now. So after these quests, there's no like new people to find, no new quests to find and stuff. But you can still use it as a sandbox, and play around with it. Yeah, but that's basically the limit of the game. And but I would say you can have like fun for a couple of hours with it, like maybe 2 to up to maybe 4 hours or something, until you really discovered everything, found out how everything works, and did the quest for the people. Yeah, build yourself a nice base and stuff. You can really sink some good hours into the alpha.
Yeah, just building bases can easily take you like several hours just like by running around and expanding it. Uh, yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Couple of things that you just saw over there in the game what Toby was playing is we took into account, for example, regrowing of stuff in your world. Originally in the pre-alpha, everything that you mined was just gone. But right now you have the option, like Toby is showing, to either collect huckleberries and to basically take them off the bush but leave the bush intact. If you do that over time, the huckleberries will actually grow back. But if you whack the bush like this, the bush is gone. It's like properly ripped up and gone. It's one of the improvements I wanted to point out there.
Yeah, it's a more immersive living world.
Yeah, and I think another thing that is really contributing to that immersion is the dialogue system that we recently implemented. Before, it was basically that we had like these kind of standard signpost NPCs that are just having their text, and if you talk to them, they're gonna reply with something. And now we implement like a full dynamic dialogue system that changes over time. Like you can reply to NPCs, you can ask them stuff, and their replies will basically change over time, depending on your quest progress. So this is also something that really I think enhances the whole feeling of the game a lot.
Next thing people will start asking is like if they can date NPCs. We get that question very often. It's like
Oh,
like
yeah. I can imagine with which games you get it,
right.
but like we're not like a simulation game, or like life simulation. So this is currently not really on the roadmap, like to date NPCs. I don't think that would really like fit well this game.
Yeah.
But
Wha-
yeah.
One of the fans asking is like, are you guys going to allow tile deletion? Because I ran out in the problem was mix matching tiles and having voids in my grid. So is
Oh
that
yeah.
something planned to allow them to delete somehow tiles? Because not sure. Logistically, probably will be really hard to delete the tile from the map.
Yeah, it is definitely hard, and there are some things to consider. Definitely, the good thing is that we kind of promised it with the Kickstarter, right? Because we reached the tile. What was it called? Tile enhanced tile mechanics stretch goal or something, which was I think the last stretch goal that we hit. So there definitely gonna be tile interactions. You can already like rotate the tiles when you place them, and there will also going to be deleting and replacing them by other tiles. So yeah, this is definitely planned, and I think this is also something that you just need to have in these kind of games, because you want to alter your world over time, and yeah,
Nice. Well,
just
the answer
sometimes.
is yes. Then.
Yeah, the answer is clear yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously we will, like you said, Alex, sometimes it's harder to think about what the implementation should be when you delete something, right? So there will be, I think, I believe, uh, small, what do you call it? The
Limitations.
player will be punished.
Oh, the
Will be
punish,
punished
the price. Yeah.
when they,
Hmm.
yeah, for example, when you have something with where you just discovered something on a tile, or there is, gold spawned on a tile. I don't know, and you delete that tile, the gold is going to be gone. You're going to have to rediscover it or something.
Yeah. When I was,
So
I'm sorry.
go
Please,
ahead.
please, if you would like to finish.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, this is definitely still in development, and we have a lot of talks about these kind of things. But there are a couple of things to keep in mind when we start deleting stuff and altering the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's was my main concern is like, what if you build entire base like that? Is like and decide to uh, delete the
Yeah.
tile or replace it, is like what's going to happen. So that's why I says like there's probably a lot of like logistic questions that you guys will have to answer.
Yeah.
It's like to yourself and actually implement it for fans to enjoy.
And that is also one of the cool things. Like before in the pre-alpha, you were bound to that center tile basically to build your base, and now you're completely free. Like to build
Nice.
everywhere where you want. You can have your cabin at some lake or something, or in a forest, or later when we will implement hotter biomes, then you will also be able to build a cabin in a desert if you want to. But we are already discussing like the implications of that. Like for instance, I will be able to build everything everywhere, but some buildings will maybe get destroyed over time, like by the nature. They will be have some benefits like against the heat or against the cold or something. So there will be definitely being implications of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
As you know me, I was always the fan of this construction systems because I think like if you will give your fans enough tools to expand and utilize the system, they're gonna come up with some crazy stuff, and it's just gonna be fun to watch what they're building, making. It's like. So I'm not sure if you guys are already seeing that in the community that people are coming up with some crazy designs that you didn't even expected maybe that they can make.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. People are always gonna come up with something you didn't expect the system would be able or would be capable to do.
Right.
And yeah, there are really some people that build like gigantic cabins. Especially in the pre-alpha, we received like a lot of screenshots of gigantic multi-floor cabins that were just really nice to see like how much time people spend in these building their dream home in their game. And yeah, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
surprised to see how many time people spent on their gardens. I
Oh
would have
yeah.
never
Farming.
expected that
Hmm.
they do so much farming and actually make them in nice patterns. It was beautiful to see. They even put little fences around their gardens. Like, very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. That's the beauty of like developing this kind of tools for fans, and it's just like yeah, always exciting things. Yeah, it's like some of our fans on Prehistoric Kingdom game been building some Star Wars Star Destroyers spaceships with the benches and walls and stuff like that. So it's a matter of just giving
Yeah.
them more and more tools, and you can be like very creative with this. So are you guys planning to expand this system somehow, like add additional details or modular pieces for the construction, or are you just gonna maintain it and make it just performing better and better?
I think the beauty of this system in particular that we have in Above Snakes is that it is very simple. Like compared to, for instance, like Valheim, where you need like a couple of hours to make like a basic cabin, which is nice because you have like all of the customization available. You can basically determine every beam where it should be. While this system is modular in a way that it is very easy to understand and easy to work with, and you can still have like your creative freedom. And so I see the system kind of like keeping being simple, um, but expanding on the tools that people have, like expanding on more walls, on more windows and other roofs. giving them paint to paint their cabins. Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah,
You're gonna get bitten by the
oh
bees.
yeah, we are
Hope
gonna
hope no
attacked by
allergies. Yeah.
some yeah, beeswax is one of the more scarce resources right now in the alpha. And yeah, one of the ones that is kind of difficult to get because you always get stung by the bees, and you have to be yeah a bit careful. um
Yeah, it's nice. And how do you guys introduce enemies to the game? Is like at what tile they're gonna start appearing?
Oh, it's more of a question of when. Like you can basically come across some lost souls everywhere, but they're mostly active at night. So at daytime, you basically have yeah the freedom to roam around and to do your stuff, to do basically everything. And at nighttime, you have to be a little more careful to do all of that. Yeah, but there will definitely be hotspots. Like there's the city of Corpse Creek where the plague began, and it will definitely be like one of the hotspots for lost souls. And it's yeah like semi abandoned already. And yeah, of course, like the obvious spots such as graveyards, and yeah abandoned churches and stuff like where you would expect like people being buried and then later maybe yeah stand up from the graves. um yeah, but basically in the alpha, it's at nighttime you have like yeah the chance of encountering enemies more often. And as we speak of nighttime, it's getting dark slowly.
Right. Get
um
ready. Uh,
yeah, getting ready, making a fire.
yeah. Just in the Pecora asking why is the game called Above Snakes? So it's kind of
Oh yeah, we
interesting
have read this
topic.
question.
Right.
We have read this question a couple of times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's how many snakes in the game? Toby, tell
Yeah,
me.
how many snakes are there? There, yeah. Actually, Mark already prepared some snakes for the game. They're
Oh
not.
yeah.
They didn't.
Finally,
Yeah, they
snakes.
didn't make. Yeah, finally snakes in above snakes.
Not
They
nice.
Yeah.
didn't make the cut for the alpha, to be honest.
And
Yeah.
But sorry, Mark.
We've we've been expanding on a number of animals. I've also been chatting on Discord with some of the people from the community about what kind of animals they would like to see. I actually recently took a trip through America and across country and encountered so many other animals that we actually were discussing of also including. And yes, snakes are a part of it already. And once we start building out our tile set, you will start encountering more snakes as well.
nice. The snakes are going to be
Yeah,
venomous and attack you, or they're just like cosmetic.
they're probably gonna. They're not gonna be cosmetic, Alex. This is a survival game.
Well, I
So
mean,
everything's gonna.
snakes and birds are such a little creatures, you know. It's like this is
Oh, like critters. Yeah. Yeah, these snakes are definitely gonna be venomous, and yeah, since it's a survival game, they can definitely kill you. Um, but oh yeah, we planned to put them under stones, like after you under rocks. After you mine some rocks, you have like a certain chance of coming
surprise
across some
attack.
snakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
surprise attack that were hiding below it. And yeah, so that's the plan for the snakes basically.
But,
But still, I think we didn't answer the question, right? Why is the game called like that?
yeah. Well,
um,
we told them at least that the snakes are gonna be in the game now. So
yeah, yeah, long answer. It's a short. It's a saying. It's an old Western saying, um, that if you're above snakes or if you stay above snakes, that basically means you're not like lying on the ground, that you're not dead. And yeah,
alive.
when we discussed different titles about, I think about a year ago, right, or a little more than a year ago.
I think like
um
that's yeah, a little before Kickstarter, I would say even. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
you know.
then yeah, it just seemed fitting, like for a survival game, to have like a title that says basically, hey, you have
And
to
it's
survive.
it's also a beautiful name. I think it's like very romantic and intriguing name. So yeah, it's a little bit literal. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like it's just it sounds weird. Like next to other games, when you see them on Steam, Above Snake sounds just different, I think.
Make people click on it. Uh, are you getting cold? It's like there's an icon there.
Uh, yeah, this icon here, this is the cold debuff. Yeah, like, you feel cold, you will fatigue much faster. So yeah, basically,
Very
if we don't
dark.
have like fire going at night, yeah, you have to light it. Right now, there's only fires that you can make at night to light it up a little bit. But there will also be torches in the future that you can use for that. And yeah, but basically the idea is, and we can make some more tiles here. The idea is at night you're much more bound, like to your cabin. Like you want to do tasks such as like researching stuff and cooking stuff for the day for your next adventure. And yeah, so at night you're more like at your cabin, and if you say, okay, I've got enough of this night, then you can rest in your bed and basically skip until the next morning, where you can go on adventures again.
And
And
so there will also be we've got different methods of actually making it better for the player to stay at home a little bit, because it will also be more dangerous at night, and you will have that cold was showing what we call debuffs, so it's a little harder to survive at night. You can still, but you'd better be prepared.
Right. Is there more valuable things that you can find like at night, or it's just like basically you paying for the challenge because you would like to use extra time, right? Like, or is there any extra valuables specific to the night, that you can find or discover?
yeah, right now it's basically extra time that you get. But we will have like certain events that will only take place at night. Like some biomes will offer stuff at night that you don't see like at daytime.
Right.
Like you could imagine things like basically like, yeah, of course, on graveyards, like that graveyards would be like rather safe on daytime, but they wouldn't be on nighttime. Or you could also have things like that. Maybe you have like certain flowers in the pine forest that only have blossoms at nighttime, or something like that. That's so stuff that only appears at certain times of day. So this is yeah, really something that is planned. And yeah, here's some example of our dialogue system that we recently implemented into the game. I think this is really really cool. Like it's basically, yeah, you have some options like that you can choose from, and yeah, find out more about the world, find out more about the plague, find out why like people fled from Corpse Creek. And yeah.
Very nice. Looking very clean and easy to use.
Yeah, I hope so.
And to everyone who's joining us, this is we're playing the Above Snakes, guys, and the game is available on Steam. The demo is available on Steam until the June 20th, so you can play it for free. So don't need to pay or anything. If you like what you see, you can pretty much try it. And make sure if you like it, of course, make sure you add the game to your wish list. But otherwise, we're happy to answer any questions you might have to learn a little bit more what developers plan to add, or yeah, any questions you have, please go ahead, let us know. And is there like any limit to Toby, on the tile quantities, like, or like, do you guys will allow us to build as many tiles as we want, or is there like limitations on that?
The limitation is your PC. Yeah, so there's no limit. There's no hard limit at the moment. You can make worlds as big as you want to. And of course, at some point it gets a little yeah, the performance isn't there yet, so it's not perfectly optimized yet, such as like Minecraft or other games, because we're still in the alpha state. But I've seen worlds that were big as, I don't know, 40 tiles or something, and the game was still doing well. And yeah, you can make really really big worlds already. And
Really cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
what you
so
also currently see is that what we put in the alpha is this cartography table that lets you select different type of tiles and place them where you want. You still need to do scouting every time, so you need to perform actions in the world to fill your scouting meter so you can place another tile. But the type of tiles are being expanded as you go through the story and through the storyline. And we'll be adding a lot more of those tiles and transition tiles between certain biomes. Obviously, you can't suddenly transition from a desert into a very cold
Oh,
area
yeah.
like a snowy pine forest. Um, so you'll have to build out your world in a logical order, if you will. But how that world is, what that world is going to look like, what your entire board of tiles is going to look like, is fully up to the player.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I love that. All right. Seems a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is, and yeah, people really enjoy that they basically can make their own little worlds, and I think it just looks cute. Like if you look at your worlds and you see like your biomes growing one by another, and yeah, I think it just has this very unique look to it, and I also really like that we just kept like these rough edges of the tiles here, and we discussed if we would like rather have like tiles that will be like fully connected, that you wouldn't see that these were tiles at some point. But I think it looks better and it helps like um, yeah, also for orientation, that you see like these rough edges and be able to tell, oh yeah, this world is indeed made out of these square tiles.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially as like the addition that you guys been talking about, the when the tiles are bleeding on each other as well, is I think is very big contributor in immersion itself. It's like because like you're not isolated from in just one tile, so it's part of the bigger world, bigger picture. So you pretty much is like building your own adventure. So you're building your own map in the game, which is really really cool. And I think like I don't know how many games is really doing that. I mean,
I think
can't
it's
think of.
rather unique. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are definitely some other games around, but yeah, to combine this with like a survival game is extremely unique, to be honest. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not afraid to call almost like nobody's really doing it because like, yeah, it's very unique in the fact, as you said, is like the genre itself is like there's some puzzle games where you can like put the little worlds together, like trains, some kind of like the railroads and stuff like that. It's like, but like actually creating your own story in a game, like with your own world, is every time when you launch the game, and all that it needs is just a little bit of time to give you guys a little bit of time to add more and more to it, and I think it's gonna allow players to have all the time unique experience and unique adventures in the game. Every time when they start it over, which is like
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, and talking about railroad, like we have plans to add railroad to the game, and there will be train tiles that you have to connect to each other, and the idea is basically that your railroad will go through basically all of the biomes, so you can make like a railroad that will connect certain biomes to another, and we can also maybe use it as a form of transportation for the player, and there will be certain biomes that will be only be reachable via the railroad, so it really will feel like this is far away, I have to use the railroad to go and to travel there.
So
And
you'll have to
we plan this.
place. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you'll
you
have to place railroad on top of your existing tiles.
no, this will like be own tiles,
Oh,
but
it's
this
on tile.
will yeah, but they will basically be available for most of the biomes, or for many of the biomes, and so you have to place them cleverly in a way that they will connect to each other, and that you can can use them to traverse through the tiles basically.
And Flo is asking, how many different tiles are you guys currently at? So like, is there
Yeah.
are they
How many there already
quantifiable?
are?
Yeah.
I mean, right now in the alpha there are, I don't know, we can count at the cartography table, maybe 20 or something, maybe a little more, maybe 25. So basically on the alpha you have these tiles here, plus there are a lot of hidden tiles that are quest tiles that are unique, and once you discovered them you can place them once because they have like for instance, this survivors camp, you place it once and then it's gone. And we have a couple of other of these tiles, such as the glade tile that you just discover and then it's gone. But yeah, so in the alpha, I would say maybe 20 tiles or something. But we already made, or not we, I think Mark already made. I don't know, Mark. Do you have an overview still? Can you still count?
Yeah, I just did a quick count in our design, and well, obviously don't want to give away too much, but the count is currently at 40.
Wow,
So
40
we have
tiles
40
that's
different tiles.
that
Are
are already done. Yeah, right. They're all done basically.
let's
even
call it
Toby is
done,
impressed.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, is are you guys have some fans that already asking for some kind of like creative mode where there's no like balance and just allow us to place whatever, whenever, wherever we can, we want. Yeah.
I've read the word creative mode a couple of times. Yeah, definitely. We, I mean, this is definitely imaginable for the game. I think that that's something that would work. Uh, but this goes in the same direction as what I already answered when we had this discussion about roguelite with versus like continuous. We had this discussion
Right.
in the
When you're
community.
if you reset it or not.
Yeah, yeah, like if we should reset the world after you died, because this was one of the first ideas for the game,
Hmm.
so that the punishment would be okay, you lose your world basically. Um, but yeah, the community decided against that. With I think more than 80% against votes versus against roguelite for yeah continues, like for more of an adventure style game. And that is something that we respect. And even though we had it differently in mind at first, yeah, we threw out the roguelite stuff and we kept the adventure stuff in there. And yeah, so right now it plays more like a sandbox adventure type of role playing game
Right.
maybe.
Right.
And
Well,
and
with
I
reset,
think this is
it's a bit harder punishment. Like, and I remember us talking about it like a lot when we were talking about like, I mean, I felt the same. It's like I felt like it's an incredible punishment for people if they uh, build their world spending like a few hours and then they lose and they get to the point zero. You know, it's like where it's only one tile. So I think like it's a good direction for sure. It's like especially for
yeah.
creativity. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, at first I was a little like emotional
upset.
because
Yeah.
attached to my roguelite idea because I like the idea. But yeah, as I said, I respect the decision and I respect what the community wants, and I get it. And I also have myself like a lot of fun playing uh, this version of the game, and I think it works well for this kind of game. And yeah, you can certainly combine it with a creative mode with yeah, no story attached, no constraints attached maybe. And yeah, but still this is something not being on the roadmap like for like within the next weeks or months. This is something for later on definitely. We first want to focus on having like a really good yes, basically adventure experience or survival experience,
Yeah.
because that's what the game really is.
It's very nice. Very, very
And
nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, at one point we'll obviously also currently, like Toby said before, there's a number of quests that we've introduced. These survivor camps that Toby is showing, and later on the Stark quest set, Lumberjack Stark. Um, and we've been really thinking about how we use quest and possibly even at the start the tutorial, which already is created, so it doesn't really feel like a tutorial. But to make players familiar with the different game mechanics, but also about how to expand their world. We're not entirely sure yet how we'll be introducing new biomes, but it could very well be that per biome type, we actually do some kind of small quest or some kind of introduction. In the pre-alpha, we've seen the fisherman that's actually introducing a fishing tile, something like that. We could do. All of that is let's call it semi-written and open for interpretation and development over the next couple of months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a rough idea at this point how basically the game will go, and how through which biomes you will traverse. We don't have like a very particular order in mind yet. And also there will be, of course, a lot of going back into other biomes, adding stuff later on, adding new quests to old biomes so you can revisit them. um, but still, as Mark said, there's still a lot of things to think about, basically.
You guys learn anything interesting from your fans? Like, was this open demos and betas that made you guys change your decisions on top of like what we learned on like was our polls on roguelike kind of experiences? Like any significant changes, Toby, for you from the original direction, or
I
everything
would
is
say a
pretty
lot.
much yeah?
Yeah, really a lot. And I really can't, like, right now, like pick an example that is really, or I don't have something
Stands
particular in
out.
mind. I don't
Yeah.
know if you have something in mind, Mark. um, but basically we respect feedback, very, very much. If there is some opinion in the community, we definitely change our minds and say, okay, we're gonna go that route. If people, like crowd of people, thinks this is like a better idea. And we also had like also I receive a lot of DMs and see a lot of message on Discord from just single people saying, hey, I have this idea, wouldn't you want to add this or that? And we, if we also think this is a great idea, we put it on our development board, and then we put it in the game. And so we are very open for feedback, and we're happy for feedback, because we think this makes the game better. And we don't want to build something that nobody wants to play in the end. We want to build something that people enjoy, and that is something that people think that is worth investing their time in. And so
Yeah, working with community
definitely.
is really fun. It's like in the good thing about it is that there's no surprises for them as well. So where you guys are
Yeah.
grinding something for a very, very long time, and then it's like, here you go, and there's like, oh wow, this is not what we expected. This is like uh,
Yeah.
working with them
I
and
don't
getting
think.
direct feedback is very, very healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is how you would develop games anymore. Like, this is how you develop games back in times, basically, where you just go in your basement and code your game for 5 years, and then you release it and
Well,
expect
I
people to
mean, you're
like it.
talking about indie development, which is like it's kind of natural for it, but like all AAAs are just like release teaser or trailer, and then people are just making up things. You know, it's like, oh, it's going to be like that, or it's going to be like that. You know, it's like, and then when it's released, they'll be like, oh, you guys told us it's going to be like that. It's like nobody told you that it's going to be like that. You know, uh, so, but yeah, it's very healthy for sure for community, for game development, like for developers themselves, and it's a lot of fun too. It's like it's a really nice, it's a warm feeling to see when somebody's enjoying something that you're doing and they liking it, you know,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
an
that's really
artist.
the best part.
And it's a great source of inspiration here and there because, yeah, like Toby said, that you're only thinking about so many things, and sometimes when you have this big group of people shouting great ideas, then yeah, not all of them work, but some of them definitely do. And what we really like to do is keep an eye on all the Discord channels, and take the ideas, put them on our board, sometimes on our backlog. Like, all right, we'll review that later, and we'll do sessions and discuss them and see what do we like, what do we not like, and we'll put them in and give feedback to people that we've put it in or will
Yeah,
put it in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Community is very powerful thing for sure.
Yeah.
I had somebody dropping a message to me after the, I think, recent patch, that he was very happy to see his suggestion being on the patch notes, basically.
For them, it's a very
And
big deal as well. Yeah, when they see,
yeah, of course.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we do that all the time as well with the Universum, and it's just, sometimes it's enough just like one opinion. There's like sometimes you get like it's like narrow-minded. You develop your game. It's like, oh, how do I solve this problem? And then somebody's on Discord just like, hey, how about you're doing it this way? And you're like, that's totally makes sense. Yeah, it's like, and
That's
we
smart. Yeah.
yeah, we add that feature, and then it just makes their day. It's like they're contributing. So basically, you're developing game with the fans, and it just becomes better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though we haven't put it in the alpha just yet, um, where did we, Toby? I'm talking about animals.
Yeah.
So, for example, there was obviously major great feedback on the Wolf Cup that
Mm-hmm.
will
Oh
make its
yeah.
way eventually in the eventual game because of the Kickstarter campaign that went so well. The
Mm-hmm.
same right now we're seeing with the dog that Toby has added for the Stark character. I even saw in the chat, in the Twitch chat, that there's already it's being mentioned that putting the dog in. So I think
Yeah.
those are really the fun interactions with the community when you put something in and people are so excited about it.
Yeah, and we're usually happy to add more. It's like if people like it, if we identify something that they love in our game, is like why not add more of it? It's like so. So you guys, I paste Discord links a few times in the channel already, so make sure you guys join Above Snake's Discord channel, and you can engage with developers on almost daily basis. Like drop your
Yeah.
suggestions.
On daily basis.
Yeah. Um, Cool. It's very cool. And again, there's like whoever has joined us, yeah, this is Above Snakes. Demo is available during the Steam Festival, which is happening right now. And the demo is going to be available by June 20th. So you guys check it out. Of course, let your friends know as well. Bring them on. And that brings us to the question about the multiplayer. Which is,
Oh.
uh, yeah, there'll be a 80 people multiplayer. That's like a battle royale mode. No?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've read it a couple of times, right, with the multiplayer, and I get it. I would love to play Buff Snakes multiplayer.
Above Snakes 2
Um.
maybe, right? It's like in the second one. You have to
Yeah. Yeah.
build a
Like Don't Starve. Above Snakes Together will be
yes.
the second one. Yeah, I think we answered it a couple of times, that like we're really focusing on a really good single player experience here, and we really try to make this the best as we can. And after this is done and released and patched and people love it, and then we can talk about the future of multiplayer and stuff. But I think we need to have this groundwork first. And yeah, it's just and also still like even though our team size basically doubled in size, but but still we are a very small indie team. And yeah, it's just something we wouldn't feel comfortable promising to be able to deliver. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Sounds good. Multiplayer is it's just like in the creative games like that. It's like the playing it with your friends is always nice. But unfortunately, like with the indie budgets, it's a little bit harder to do something like that. And if you're doing something like that, you have to plan it from the beginning, not like in the middle of active development,
Yeah,
because like you have to change a lot to allow that.
you have to rewrite a lot of code. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another question is like if there will be any dungeons, caves, or anything like that you guys plan to add. Yeah.
Do we want to spoil that already, or or not?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's maybe keep it at
Maybe.
we are working on underground tile. Maybe that's enough of a teaser that
Yeah,
underground tiles are currently in development and
there are things
being created.
baking, and we will see. We will see when. We will see to what extent.
No.
Yeah. Everything is possible. You guys just again voice over your opinion if it generates a lot of attention from the community. So I mean,
Yeah.
maybe is a default answer on everything except maybe multiplayer.
Yeah. Well, I do have to say that Dungeon Siege and Diablo were really big games in my youth. Not sure about you, Toby. I know you've played Diablo as well. Um,
Yeah,
tho-
Diablo 2 especially.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And those are obviously really more dungeon crawlers, you know. This type of game is not a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
However, inspiration comes from all kinds of sides. So yeah.
Yeah, and that like naturally leads to the, since you guys are talking about Diablo, is like, is there going to be any hardcore mode? One of the fans is asking. So not
Hardcore, like if you die, you're dead, basically.
I'm not sure. Maybe harder difficulties on enemies or survival. Yeah,
Yeah, we
survivability.
yeah
Like,
we discussed with the community earlier about difficulty modes, and we are pretty certain that there will be difficulty modes. So for everybody, like for instance, like to have a story mode, which is which has very few survival elements, and it's just focusing on the story and on the adventure because you just want to experience that for yourself. And there will be, I don't know if one or two more modes or more difficulties to be more survivally, to be more extreme, and to have these survival systems in place that you really need to take care of.
Yeah.
Um,
Possibly even with waves of zombies that increase more and more.
that
But
would be
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
different modes are under discussion, and obviously will be added. If they will be added, they'll be added at the end.
yeah, this is something further down the road, definitely. Yeah, but still on our roadmap, and we have that in mind. Yeah,
Yeah, it will
which
it will be hard to, like, it's usually super hard to maintain multiple modes and stuff like that while you're in active development. It just
that's it. Yeah,
you might end up with everything being just messy, it's like, so,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. If you have like the game, if the game is stable and basically the content is complete, and then we can add like modes on top of that, on top of the existing game that we already made.
yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to cover specifically about the current state of demo, or what people should expect from you in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, what people can expect is very regular updates. Like we've been very active with updates in the past, especially in the past month. I would say we updated the game. I think almost weekly or something. And Also in the future, there will be times that there will be less updates because we're working on bigger features. There will be times there will be more frequent updates, such as with these festivals. Yeah, but you can expect like to have like a very active game in development and something that is developed very iteratively. So you have like all of the time basically something new to try out, something new to find, and yeah, that basically I would say.
Yeah,
That's
and with this demo, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, the demo for Steam on the Steam Fest is accessible until the 20th of June.
Hmm.
But if you would like to have longer accessibility or I guess persistent accessibility to the alpha, you can still get that through the Critivo store, right, Alex?
Yes. Yes, and which is important to note. I think we were talking with Toby. At some point, that's probably going to be wrapped up as well. So if you guys are interested to participate in the development a little bit more, so yeah, you can get some additional perks that you can learn about on our store, and I'll drop the link for you guys as well. But yeah, and there's will be future opportunities to try the game if for some reason you don't have enough time. The 7 days is not enough for you. Yeah, it was. I think it's shaping up really nicely. I remember our first day chatting with Toby about the game. He was making, at first it was like a little bit more linear campaign, story based, and I'm happy that we kind of moved a little bit more on like survival and like construction based building kind of mechanics, because it allows players like have this flexibility of building their own worlds. It's like it brings tons of replayability, but we're still saving the story modes, like the different quests and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys definitely doing a really good job. I really love what I'm seeing. So definitely a good team. If you guys
Thanks.
would like to add anything else, you can. Otherwise, I think like we can start wrapping things up a little bit. And start planning our next live stream with you guys in a month or so, and show them new stuff that you've been working on.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I would say the same. Yeah, I would. Yeah, we could play on for a little while more, but yeah, people can also experience it themselves and get the demo via Steam. Yeah, I hope you got a little yeah, insights on our development process, on our thoughts, and on how we work, and what we're working on. And
Yeah.
yeah, but if there are like any more questions regarding this kind of stuff, then yeah, please feel free, go ahead, join our Discord, chat with us,
yeah.
interact with us. We always enjoy that.
Yeah, join Discord, and while you're playing demos, make sure to share with us your screenshots of your bases, houses, farmings. Like, it's so much fun to look at them, and yeah. So I will include the link again. It was really fun chatting with you guys. Thank you very much for joining, sharing a little bit more about the project that you guys are working. So again, I think like from the and everybody's who's watching. So you guys, if you love the game, make sure you wishlist it on Steam as well. So those numbers are first, they make our days brighter. You know, it's like it just feels good to see that so many people want it. But the second is like when we're gonna release the game, it will help us to stand up ahead of other games. You know, like because Steam have some complicated algorithms that love big numbers, of course. So uh, yeah, if you don't mind, they just click one button, wish list, and follow. So it means a lot for us and for the developers as well. So thank you guys, and wish you guys stay safe. Enjoy summer, where it's summer, and we'll talk to you guys later. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, talk to you soon.
yeah,
Thank you very much, Alex.
yeah. Bye bye.
All
Bye
right.
bye.